Hi everybody, I am so excited today to share something amazing that happened this week. Last video I had told you guys kind of my New Year's goals and dreams and hopes, and about how I was working a temp job at this place in DC. So anyway, it was a temp to hire and I found out that they want to hire me, so I was so excited! So I have been working with them since November, and like immediately I loved it, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like God, I would love to work here and finally, get some financial foundation going. And anyway, so on Friday, last Friday, they let me know that they want to hire me, and they told me a bit about the job description and what I'll be doing and a little bit of the benefits and all of that stuff. And then they gave me the salary, which I in truth was a little disappointed with. I had wrote back in August, like a few days after my birthday, that I wanted my salary for this next year to be a certain number, and the salary that they gave me was under that number. And so I was just like, okay, well, is it negotiable? And there's like a 5-second silence. And then they're like, well, we don't know, we don't have that authority because this is what HR told us, this salary fits this job description. And I was like, okay, cool, fine, And then, they're like, okay, how about on Monday? You get back to us about whether you want to take the job or not. So all last weekend, I was just like, do I take it? Do I still try to negotiate a higher salary? Since I need to stop saying, Since December, I had been looking at places to move out to, studios, 1-bedrooms in the DC area, and it is not cheap, there it goes. It is not cheap. The average is about maybe $1,300 to like $1,600 or more for a 1-bedroom. And I was like, this salary that they quoted me it's not gonna allow that. So, and then the other side of it is like, this is the time where a lot of people are out of work. I shouldn't be so greedy and picky, just take the salary, make it work, do your side business, get the rest of your money that way. And so I kept going over this with my dad, and it's like, Daddy, if I say it like this, or should I just take it? And but I really want this salary because I looked at all the expenses, and I don't want to be cutting it close. I'm will not live paycheck to paycheck ever again in my life. And I called my business mentor as well on Friday in the evening. It's like, hey, do you have time to talk, to kind of coach me on how I can negotiate? And she wasn't available to do that for that weekend. And then she's like, well, how about Monday morning? And I'm like, well, that's too late because that's when they want me to give an answer. So we weren't able to do it beforehand. So then Monday rolls around, okay? And I'm nervous. I need to say these certain things. I need to stay my ground and be firm. And so I saw that they had not scheduled a meeting with me on the calendar. So I scheduled it, and we had the meeting. And we go over a bit more of the benefits package, which is phenomenal, by the way. A lot of amazing benefits. I love working for an international, global, super wealthy company because they treat their employees well. And so then I'm like, okay, well, how about this salary? And they're like, once again, a bit hesitant. It's like, well, what are you looking for? And so I'm like, I don't quote them the number I really wanted, but I just around this much. And they're like, okay, we can talk to HR about that, but we're not sure if they can give it. But why do you think that this much is what's needed? And I'm like, well, I've been researching since December the cost of living in this area, and for all of these apartment buildings, they're like looking for people who have 3 to 4 times their salary to match the rent. And I'm like, well, this salary, I can't get that anywhere near here. And they're like, well, okay, we'll talk to HR. So then after the call, I did the most stupid, idiotic thing ever. I had wrote down, I actually did the numbers again, and I was like, well, I need actually a bit more. So I sent an email saying hi ladies, I know we just got off the phone, but I actually need this higher salary. It's only by from what I quoted them, about $3,000 more, $3,500 more. And I was like, I sent it, and the minute I sent it, I was just feeling really bad, and all the time, just really anxious. I need to talk to somebody. I'm nervous because I just double counter offered them, and I called my sister and I'm really nervous. I just did this thing. How are you doing? I need to talk to somebody. And then after I got off the phone, my business mentor calls me back. And she's like, hey, is it too late? Can we talk? And I'm like, I literally just had the meeting. And I told her what I did. And of course, she's like, okay, first of all, you never counter offer by going higher, because then you look greedy. And then it looks like you didn't actually do the math when you were speaking to them. You just threw out a number. You should always do your math. Have your exact amount when you're about to counter offer. And so she's like, you went from a place of relationship because, apparently their relationship was really good and they wanted to hire you. But then you took it from that into money. The whole thing, the whole shift was now about give me. And I was like, oh my God, I am such an idiot. How can am I even 30 this year? Making such a rookie mistake. And then, but she's like, we're just gonna pray right now for not necessarily that you'll get what you asked for, but that you'll get grace. Because she's like, there's a lot of people who would take that original salary because of the times that they are in, and they could just give it to anybody else. And I was like, you're absolutely true. Or you're absolutely right. That's absolutely true. You're absolutely right. So she just prayed that, that I will have, that God's grace will be on my life, and that, it won't matter what I had emailed, if this is the job for me, then it will be. And so after we got off the phone, I was nervous still the entire day. I could hardly focus on my work. I was just squirming and couldn't focus on my phone. I got the whole time bashing myself because I'm oh, you're so dumb. How am I so dumb? And it was not fantastic. And so then, by the end of the night, I began to calm down and, to really just receive what, my business mentor, I'm still saying, I began to receive what my business mentor had prayed over me. And in the night, I just listened to a recording about, the love of God. And actually, I played a song the whole day by Chris Qualilala. And I'll have to tag it in here. It's a beautiful song, just thanking God for his goodness, for his righteousness and stuff. It is amazing. I literally listened to it all day long after that call. And then on Tuesday morning, I woke up and played it some more. No, you know what? I downloaded a loop app and I put it on loop the whole night I slept, because I just needed to get into a place of gratitude. No matter what happens, God is faithful, he is true, he is righteous, and he is gracious. And then the scripture came up. So I was confident that whatever's gonna happen when I got back, like started my work hours working from home, that it would be good. So I go into work, working. My supervisor puts a meeting on my calendar to talk about this thing, the job. And I'm nervous. I'm like, the nerves just came right back. I'm like, no. I just played the song again. I was like, I'll just wait and just be calm. You don't know what's gonna happen. Just apologize profusely when you get on the phone. And yeah, just relax, Chasity. And so then I had got the meeting. We were on the phone. I have two supervisors, so one was on, and I was immediately like, I'm so sorry I sent that email. And she's like, what email? I'm like, the one I sent after our meeting yesterday. She's like, oh, that? No, I'm like, don't even worry about that. That was nothing. I was like, okay. Like, okay, well, thank God. So then the other supervisor comes on, and they're like, okay, Chasity, well, we talked to HR about it, and we just want to let you know that these salaries are already competitive to the industry in this area, so HR doesn't really negotiate salaries. So it's like we can't go higher than that. I was like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm happy to be here. But then she's like, but you came out on top because is actually for the marketing administrator position, but you're a marketing coordinator, so it's actually gonna, and my jaw dropped. That was much more than I asked for, only by $1,000 less than what I had wrote down as my ideal salary, back in August. And I just couldn't comprehend what was happening. And I was like, my God, he did it again. He like lavishly poured out his grace upon my life, and that I would be offered a salary that was so close to my dream salary, and that they totally disregarded the email. They're totally happy I'm coming on board, and I am profusely and extremely grateful that I am coming on board of this company. And amazing grace and so much love poured out on me. Anyway, I just wanted to share that testimony of what God is doing in my life, and that I will be able to now go after the other things I was hoping for. Like, I'm starting to look for a place out in DC. I'm like planning for my cat, Ninja Duke, who I will get this year, and hopefully some of these other things that I have on my goals list for this year will be accomplished. But anyways, that was all. I do. See you. Bye-bye.